Practitioner in Bombay, and I'm coming here for last 3 years just for introducing Ayurveda in the way it is and in the way you should understand it. So today is the third lecture of this series called as Ayurvedic Guide to Healthy Living. For people who are coming here, I can see few new faces. This Ayurvedic Guide to Healthy Living we had divided into three different age groups. One was Balyavastha, which was a childhood, then was Tarunavastha, which was the adult age, and then was Vruddhavastha. So what we had done, we have covered the diseases or the lifestyle to be followed or the disease pattern, what should be the food, all these things during that specific age. That is what we have discussed in last two top lectures. Today we are going to talk about Vruddhavastha. So earlier Vruddhavastha used to start after age of 70 or 75 because the average lifespan was 100 years. But today I think Vruddhavastha, we can start seeing few symptoms of Vruddhavastha at the age of 45-50, and most of the symptoms are seen after 55. You can say Vruddhavastha has absolutely started. It is more in cities than in villages, and so I think we should all know what is the normal lifestyle for this age after 50 or after 50-55. What are the good things to be followed? Ideally, this is the age where all the dhatus, where you can say the further nourishment or further growth of the body has stopped. And one more thing which is said in Ayurveda is, as long as a person has an effect of the mother's milk, that is till the age of 45, or till the age of 50, the person sustains his good health. But after that, the person starts slowly deteriorating in terms of his health. The deterioration is because of the predominance of Vata. That our lifespan, as it is divided into three different parts, the three main humors or the three main, we can say, functional units, that is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. The young age, or you can say the childhood, is Kapha predominant, the Tarunavastha is Pitta predominant, and Vruddhavastha is Vata predominant. So Kapha is an entity which is a binding entity which keeps all the we can say Vata and Pitta binded together. In terms of explaining what is Vata, Pitta and Kapha, Vata is a messenger in the body, Pitta is a transforming force in the body, and the binding entity which holds these two is called as Kapha. The age where Kapha is predominant, the nutrition is the binding entity. If it is in a good quantity, the body grows very fast. So it is a growing age, that is Balyavastha. The age where Pitta or the transformation part is more, the aging process triggers more, and then you can see the signs of aging till the age of 40-45. And in Vruddhavastha, the messenger or the Vata is predominant. So maximum wear and tear of the body starts. So what has to be done to avoid such wear and tear in early age? The first basic thing which we should follow, it comes under Dinacharya, that is Abhyanga. Applying medicated oil or sesame oil regularly in the morning on our own to the whole body, and keep it for at least 45 minutes or 1 hour, and then taking a bath would actually help to strengthen the bones, the muscles, and to maintain the good glow of the skin, and also to avoid the wrinkles. So Abhyanga, which normally is practiced only during festivals, like in Diwali, Abhyanga is done. So Ayurveda says the sesame oil or the til or sesame oil, which is easily available, is the best oil for Abhyanga for a healthy person. In case of person who is suffering from a specific disease, depending upon which dosha predominant the disease is, or what are the permutations and combinations of doshas in that disease, different oils can be used. But in general, for a healthy person, sesame oil is supposed to be the best. It has to be applied to the whole body from your face to the toes, kept like that for 45 minutes till the oil is soaked inside the body. It keeps the muscles intact, it keeps the skin intact. So Abhyanga is going to play a major role. After these doshas, our body has 7 structural units which we can see. What are the Vat, Pitta and Kapha are the functional units which we cannot actually touch and see. But the structural units are Rasa Dhatu, Rakta Dhatu, Mans Dhatu, Med Dhatu, Asti Dhatu, Majja Dhatu and Shukra Dhatu. So normally when we eat food, the digestive fire or Agni has a action on that food, and after that the good part goes to Rasa Dhatu, and so on the process continues till Shukra Dhatu. But what happens is, during old age, this Agni is gradually getting dim and dim. For people who are following a good lifestyle or who are following healthy food habits, sleeping on time, in those people or people who are staying more near towards Himalayas or in cold areas, the digestive fire is maintained properly. So these people don't age as fast as people aging in the cities, because the lifestyle matters. This Agni or the digestive fire which affects the digestion of the food plays a major role in terms of nutrition of the structural units. So if the Agni is getting dim, it means the digestion is not up to that level. So the nourishment which the Rasa Dhatu has to receive is not going to be of that good quality. In turns, the Rakta Dhatu will not be of good quality. The muscles will become weak, the bones will become weak, eyes will become weak. All this process continues. So if a person wants that this process of Rasa Dhatu or Dhatu Poshan Kram, we call it, from Rasa Dhatu to Shukra Dhatu, if a person wants this Dhatu Poshan Kram to stay normal, the only thing which can keep it normal is good digestive fire or your Agni, Jaఠar Agni. So Jaఠar Agni, how can you keep your Jaఠar Agni properly ignited? The best formula is by eating minimum food. What do you mean by minimum food? Not eating after every 2 hours. Digestive fire will stay good if you are having timely meals like breakfast, lunch and dinner. So if you are having a good lunch and light dinner, it is always helpful. So after they say normally after the age of 50, if you are having early and less, or we can say half of the quantity which you normally eat, that much dinner and early dinner, that will keep your digestive fire more ignited. If you are having late meals, late night meals and heavy dinners, that is going to cause the weakening of the digestive fire. So the secret of keeping your digestive fire normal is having timely meals, one thing, eating at home, avoid eating too much of junk food, that also is going to keep your digestive fire ignited. And the third thing is early dinners, and quantity should be less, the dinner quantity should be less and it should be early. So if this formula is followed, you can stay sorry, you can keep your digestive fire ignited for a longer time, and in turn the Dhatu Poshan Kram from Rasa Dhatu to Shukra Dhatu will be will be maintained very well. Sorry. पाणी सांगलं ना. So next slide. So one is Abhyanga, then comes digestive fire. If you can maintain a good digestive fire for at least by having such timely meals, you can stay healthy for a longer time. And how did we come to know about that? We keep on meeting many people who are healthy at the age of 90, 95, 80, 85 without any disease. So normally we take an interview of such people where we come to know what has kept that person fit. The common thing in between all these people is they're having less timely and early dinners, or they skip their dinners. They have only fruits or some soup for their dinner. So that is a secret of healthy food for people who are actually healthy today. Normally in our day-to-day hectic schedule, we tend to have late dinners and heavy meals for our dinners. So because of the process of aging, the digestive fire is less, and then we tend to have late and heavy dinners, which is again suppressed, and then it leads to formation of different diseases. Hereditary diseases also come faster, and then we keep taking medicines for those diseases. So I am talking this for a healthy person. So anyone here who is of the age 45 or above 50, see to it that you start having less dinners, or you can skip your dinners and start having soups and all such foods which are easy to digest during the evening time. This is about the Dhatu Poshan Kram. Then in terms of diseases, normally this is the age where you tend to get most of your hereditary diseases and you start taking your medication. But if you can follow good lifestyle and the medicines with the medicinal herbs which are specially designed for that specific disease, if they are taken by a proper medical advice, and then the diet for that specific disease with proper medical advice, then you can you can actually keep the disease maintained or in control for a longer time. If a person is a heart patient and he is taking medication which can keep his heart in stronger, or keep some herbs which are keeping his heart stronger, then the person will carry on with his good health or with the medication whichever is taking, and stay healthy for a longer time. So disease specific herbs which are actually available for almost all the diseases should be taken in terms of, you can say, as a tonic for that specific disease. Also, after following a good lifestyle,